Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse, to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. For our Dharma lessons, we've been reading Abundant, Exalted, Immeasurable by Ajahn Pasanno. And we're finishing up today, Chapter 3, Mindfulness Immersed in the Body. There's a very lovely discourse, Lion's Roar, where Sariputta goes to pay respects to the Buddha. He asks to take leave to go wandering on a journey, and the Buddha gives his permission. He goes to prepare himself to leave. Then another monk, who has a grudge against Sariputta, goes to the Buddha. He says, "Sariputta hit me," and left the monastery. The Buddha sends word to one of the other monks asking him to bring Sariputta, as there is an accusation against him. The way the Buddha dealt with such issues is interesting in itself. He didn't just dismiss the monk saying Sariputta wouldn't do that. Sariputta is brought back. The Buddha explains the accusation. Sariputta's reply is very moving. He says, having developed mindfulness of the body for so long, it is impossible to engage in unskillful action. The mind is well established in loving kindness, abundant, exalted, measureless, and without enmity and ill will. Sariputta then gives all sorts of illustrations of the different ways that he has contemplated and developed mindfulness of the body, with the effect that the mind is always in a place of awareness and well-wishing, of compassion towards all beings, making it impossible to have harmed anybody. Sariputta was extraordinarily skilled in giving illustrations and teachings. Finally, the monk who had made the accusation gets up and says, "I'm sorry. I've been foolish and have made a false accusation against Sariputta. May he forgive me." The Buddha's response is, yes, you have been foolish and you have made a false accusation, but having recognized your faults and wanting to make amends, you can grow in the Dhamma and discipline. Then he turns to Sariputta and says, "Sariputta, forgive this foolish man before his head splits in 7 pieces." And Sariputta says, "I certainly forgive him, and may he forgive me for anything I have done." I thought it was interesting how Sariputta's immediate response was, somebody who has cultivated mindfulness of the body for as long as I have and is so grounded in it couldn't possibly give rise to unwholesome states and is well established in the quality of loving kindness and compassion. These are some reflections on mindfulness of the body and establishing a base. Perhaps we could go and do some walking meditation and then come back for a sitting. Of course, walking meditation is not any different than sitting in the sense that when you're sitting, you're watching your breath. And when you're doing walking meditation, you're still paying attention to the whole body. But the primary focus is on the rhythm of the steps. You're pacing, walking a bit more slowly than normal, or using whatever pace feels comfortable for establishing mindfulness. Pay attention to the sensation of the right foot touching, rising, moving, and setting that foot down. Left foot coming up, moving, setting down. Simply pace, paying attention to the rhythm of the walking, the sensation of touching the ground, the movement of the foot, and then the whole body. What's your posture like? Again, It's not merely disembodied feet touching the pavement. It's a whole body connecting with the rhythm of the walking and paying attention to the posture. Holding your hands clasped, usually in front, it could be in the back, but usually in front is a bit more comfortable, so that there is composure to the posture. Keep your eyes downcast so that your gaze is about 6 feet in front. About 20, 25, 30 paces is appropriate, whatever is comfortable. When you get to the end of the path and turn around, it's helpful to stop for a minute to check and see, am I here? Am I still present? Am I still with the walking? Then continue the walking. At the end of the path, stop for a minute, because it's easy when the body is walking for the mind to wander off as well. So connect with present reality. Make sure you are sustaining that connection with the posture and the continuity of mindfulness. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.